Hello everybody and welcome back to the Spencer Arms. Now, I've been really under the weather this week, I ain't gonna lie, and today is basically the first day that I've almost felt like my personalities came back. I even did a COVID test last night because I was pretty convinced that I had COVID. The first time I had COVID, I didn't feel particularly ill with it, but it literally wiped me, it fatigued me, and I've literally been, procrastinating this week, where I've gone work, so I've got to go work, I've pushed through, but when I've come home, trying to do the things I want to do, it's been really difficult. I did a beer review the other night in front of the fire, and I was sort of like chilled or whatever, but like what Mrs. Speno said, it wipes your personality. I'm a big sort of like excitable guy and I get like quite excited about things, but I just lost my excitement. Well, anyway, this is Friday night and I've got a bit of excitement back because I want to talk to you about a great beer, and a beer that I've already I've had brain fog like you wouldn't believe. I was typing my name out at a school I'm working at today, and I typed my first name. When I went the second name, I sort of went into this trance, and the guy even says to me, basically typing goggly goo. I didn't know where I was. Anyway, thankfully I weren't driving. But I'm really excited. I've already reviewed this beer. Now, the thing is, I've been to bottle shops, and I go to bottle shops, and I pick up beers that I think are interesting, and especially gluten-free beers. Now, I don't think I noticed this particular beer being gluten-free at the time, but I was just having a bit of a night down here, down the Spencer Arms, enjoying a bit of ale and audio, ale and radio, YouTubing and things like that. And I had this beer, and I thought, wow, this is 100% Citra beer, an American IPA. It is using the big C hop, the one that if you don't calm it down can be a real bad one. And I drank this beer and I thought, this is good. This is good. But then when I was about to put the review out, after giving it a hashtag Speno waffle 10 out of 10, I realised that I had this beer in the fridge as well, but the can art was different. So I thought, they've rebranded and changed the can art. So here it is, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this before I crack this open. It is from Roosters. It is Baby-Faced Assassin. And it is an American IPA, 6.1%. It is gluten-free. I'm really looking to push the gluten-free. I always push gluten-free because my friends are celiac, as you probably know if you watch this channel regularly, and we're always looking for great gluten-free beer to drink and talk about. And so far, we have found that the gluten-free beer doesn't lack in flavour. You don't notice it. All the way back to when Speckled Hen were the first real good beer, I think, was coming out with a gluten-free beer. I A-B'd it against the proper one. I can't tell any difference. So this is vegan friendly. It is gluten-free. So it's ticking all the boxes there. Absolutely fantastic. Get out of the way, Speno. And the can art is amazing. Now, I drank the Hazy-Faced Assassin. I drank this and I loved it, and I put it on Instagram, and I love the can art. Modern classic, it said, like, modern classic. Lovely, colourful art. It reminded me a bit of AJ Higgins, who did the Spencer Arms logo. I loved it. Roosters Brewery, independent brewery, member of SEBA as well. Absolutely brilliant, and available in Asda on 4 for 3. Loved it, right? I love the can art. I know Roosters Brewery anyway, and that attracted me. But the can art I thought was fantastic. Not to be taken lightly, though. And I actually put a comment on when I reviewed it saying, I'm not sure if the can art is AI or not, but it's pretty wicked. And I got a message from Roosters Brewery, which I thought was fantastic. I actually love it when they interact. The beer will be coming. So the message was like, no AI artwork here. This is the work of the brilliant, and they gave me the Instagram page. Glad you enjoyed it. So it is David Bailey here on Instagram. Hopefully that comes in. David Bailey there. And if you look, you can see, checking him out, all wonderful, like sort of cartoony can art. There's the Roosters beer there. So you've got Little Hazy, lots of different Roosters beer there. It looks fabulous, kind of right up my street. A bit like AJ Higgins, like I say, who did our Spencer Arms logo. So I love that. I loved the interaction from the brewery. And I love the beer. So what I'm going to do now is crack this can open of the same beer and drink it again and see if it gives me exactly the same as what it did before, because I was drinking this alongside other beers as a bit of a session, and see if you don't. But I think it's going to, because this, if I didn't already have the beer of the year, this I think would hit it. So hops, 100% Citra. Now I've learned from Richard at Wheatlow Brewery here that I think it may be down to the yeast. There's a lot of brewing process, so malts can have an effect on the hops, the way that the hops shine through, depending on how you balance the malts. I love the Kipling beer from Thornbridge that I've reviewed, the way that the malts don't really hit you in the face, but they really attenuate the quite strong Nelson Sauvin hops. The Citra hop is my nemesis. I've had beers with Citra hops that I really just want to spit out because it's just like sucking on a lemon and a lime. I like lemon in my cooking. I like lemon when I squeeze it over a bit of fish or whatever, lime and that. But I want to eat it, and it like sucks your face off. And this, it says here, resinous, golden tropical resinous, and I remember this being lovely and resinous. Anyway, so they've done something in this beer, and I hope this glass is really clean, because I've not been able to clean the glass in the way I do because of the kitchen being as it is. Straight away, it's giving me that lovely vibe in the colour like it did before. Absolutely, on appearance, this is the dog's dangly bits, honestly. This is the first beer of the day. I have got a little gadget, another cap to talk about, which is going to be coming after I've done this. So I'm going to do this. I'm probably going to edit this and I might bring in the other review on there. Or I might just show you it here, actually, because it'll say faffing about. So quickly, here's the story I put on my Instagram, and there it is, Babyface Assassin. The light is a bit hard to focus in. There's the can as it was. I must have got that from the bottle shop. And basically, I put there, hashtag Speno Waffle, 10 out of 10 for that. I loved it, absolutely. And I wrote, Citra hop done wrong is awful, but done right, and you have this bad boy. So this is not to be taken lightly. American IPA using the C hop here, and it looks the absolute nuts. I'm going to get this little thing. I swear to God, how many times do I say that I'm going to make a stand for the beer? Beautiful. Branding for breweries needs to look at this can art. Anyway, right, beer in the glass. Let's turn this light on if it'll come on here. Doesn't seem to want to come on, but anyway, here is the beer in the glass. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's got that lovely, almost West Coast sort of golden orangey sort of colour, and that's exactly what I remember how this is tasting. Absolutely fantastic looking beer, that is. 6.1% from Asda, supermarket beer from an independent brewery in Asda. Think this could be one of the better ones, and the hazy assassin as well. Right, cheers everybody. Oh, let me. Yeah, it smells great. Now I've had this cough. My nose has cleared a bit, but it's still not working 100%. But the foam, a little bit of foam there. Smells fresh. It smells sort of like fruity tropically. Not fruity too much, but bit tropically. That sounds a contradiction. Sort of like that resinous sort of like. Anyway, look, Speno, shut up. Drink it. Cheers. Yeah. Oh. It's almost unbelievable to think that this is all Citra hop. Now, like I say, Richard has said, I'm sure he said there's something, and he might comment on this. It's either the yeast, there's certain yeasts that can attenuate the hops. Using big words here, Speno. Like, attenuate. Does that mean like calm it down, bring it down, you know? And also, like I say, the malts and things. This is a brightness. There's a brightness and a lovely sort of like flavour in the hop that's coming out of that without it being harsh at all. It is lovely. It is still there. The finish on the beer is still there just after one sip. It has got a really lovely bitterness to the end, which is not too much. It's perfect for an IPA without it being called like a West Coast. The colour and the flavours are quite West Coasty. It's like, I know it's not samey, but I always say with the West Coast, you get that like orangey type of, I always get that real resinous orange taste and like the marmalade taste almost, like that bitty marmalade that we talk about, that I talk about a lot, which is indicative of this colour. 6.1% has allowed the use of this citra hop to be brought right forward, and then the malt balance to really balance the beer to the point where you're not getting too many malt flavors. There's a certain amount of sweetness in there. There's a certain amount of malt profile in there, but it's allowing the hops to shine through in the way that if someone gave me this beer as the first citra beer I'd ever tried, I would go, I love that hop. I love that hop. It is absolutely wonderful. Now I've got the sound noise cancellation on here, which is the yellow thing, because I've got the fan heater on and it makes this annoying squeak, but it is a little bit chilly in here. I'd like to have my t-shirt on, go with my Alien Audio t-shirt on, but you know, it's a bit chilly. This is warming a little bit. The 6.1% is just adding a little bit of flavour down here. It's not boozy at all in any way. This is an absolutely fantastic beer, and I've not watched anybody else review this beer. Now, this beer's been around for a while because I had it in the fridge and I bought it. I must have seen it at one of my bottle shops. I've seen Roosters Brewery, and I know they're independent, and I'll always buy that sort of beer. But I'd had it in the fridge a while. So when I drank it and then I seen this in Asda, I thought, hey, that's the same. But it never really clicked. But I thought, oh, I'm sure. And anyway, there it is with this new can art from the David Bailey. Fantastic. There's almost a little bit of grapefruity taste there on the bitter side. Resinousy, grapefruity. All the flavours are nice and resinous. That's what I like. There's no harshness about it at all. There's no citra hop burn. There's no like... this is sort of like a really great example of an American IPA. It really is absolutely brilliant, and it's got one hop in it, and I absolutely love it. It's clinging to the glass nice. It is a class, and I wish my light would come on. I daren't touch anything in case I change all the modes, but I don't know why my light. Oh, there you go. Look, I told you I should have changed the modes because I've gone down. Where am I? Oh, here I am. But I wanted to, like, if I press and hold this, it normally puts the light on, but I don't know why it isn't. You know what I mean? So something's a little miss here. At least the mic's connected. Probably I should just press it once, maybe. No, I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That is, and I'm not editing this, actually. It's just going straight out. I'm going to waffle about this up till about 15 minutes because I can. So even though I was having this beer in a series of beers, I'm glad I've had this on its own, because the more I drink this, underneath that resinous sort of like orangey sort of like marmalade and the tangerine type of orange, fresh orangey, I am getting a little bit of like a bit of lemony, and I'd like to have 2 or 3 of these, one after the other. It's not really a session beer, but I'd love to have a couple of 3 of these because I think the flavours will just keep developing, and I think you'd hit every single flavour that the citra hop has to give you in this beer because they've done such a fantastic job of this. And I stand by what I say. And I want to thank Roosters Brewery for interacting with me, because not only are they created a great beer, but they're also appreciating that people are enjoying the beer and messaged me personally. And they said that basically along the lines of like, oh, looking forward to the review. So there you go. Roosters Brewery, you get a hashtag Speno Waffle 10 out of 10 for this beer. And I think that I'm actually going to put this as a beer of the year. I've got several beer of the year in different categories because it's hard to actually say beer of the year. Beer of the year. When I have drank hundreds and hundreds of beers, I've not put them on this channel, and this channel now is going to change a little bit, as you probably noticed. I'm bringing more supermarket beers to you because I never ever wanted to go out and buy bad beer knowing it's bad beer. I don't want to do a Budweiser, the king of beers, to tell you how bad it is. You know, I'll drink a Budvar to tell you how good it is, but I don't want to drink a Budweiser to tell you how rubbish it is, or a Stella at 4.5% to tell you how rubbish it is. Now, you know, there is dedicated YouTubers out there that are brilliant for that, and I follow them to see all these different beers and to learn a lot from them. But I don't sort of feel I'm a bit different. I feel that like I'm the sort of person where if you're thinking I'd really like to buy that beer, but it's going to cost me like £9 or £10, I really want to know it's good. And you can come and see me, and hopefully I've done a beer like that, and or whatever. So I love what Beer Monster's doing at the minute on YouTube. Beer Monster Adam, he's literally going around supermarkets and telling you what these beers are. They're brewed in the UK. They're not the right beers. Things like that, and all that. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. This is about this. This is about this beer. So yeah, I just think I've got a beer of the year. I've already got a beer of the year, supermarket beer of the year, that like is outstanding. But it's a different type of beer to this, and it's not a beer that will appeal to everybody. So Wednesday Waffle on the 10th of December. I'm not sure where we're going live. It's either on my page, the Spencer Arms Instagram channel page, or it's going to be live on Beer Bites and Beats Mix page on the 10th of December at 8 p.m. We're going to be talking about beers of the year, supermarket beers. This one is definitely coming to the Wednesday Waffle. But as far as I'm concerned, that is one of my categories for beer of the year. It is wonderful. It's fantastic. And you know what? I even think Slurpy Dave, who's a channel I follow, who's into his real traditional beers and things, he does not like the big hoppy beers. I even think Slurpy Dave would like that. And you know why? Because there's a lovely, fresh American sea hop flavour in there. Plenty of lovely citrusy flavours in there, but it's really been attenuated by the yeast, the malts, whatever they've done to this. And not only that, they are supporting the people out there who are celiacs, the people who are vegan, who choose to be vegan. Because, like I say, sometimes being a celiac is not a choice. Being vegan is a choice, like being a vegetarian is a choice. Sometimes it's not a choice as well. But they're supporting artists and the people that want to drink good beer that ordinarily can't. And to be honest with you, because I've not been drinking much this week, that's hit the spot as well. So, guys at Roosters Brewery, thank you so much for the interaction. Thank you so much for the great beer. Keep this coming to the supermarket. Don't lower the ABV. I don't know how you make money from this. The quality of that beer was fantastic. I'm going to watch other beer reviewers review this beer, and I promise you faithfully, if I see any negativity about this beer, then I just think to myself that, I don't know, I don't think they know what good beer is. That's all I'm going to say. You've got to be careful on YouTube. You can get hunted down and brought down. But for me, brilliant. Right, take care, everybody. Keep safe and well. And I'm really glad to be back and feeling like the Speno personality that I am. Cheers, everybody. See you on the next one.